Straight into it, and there's some beautiful native forest up there behind us, Nick, and we've looked at how native forestry plays an important part within the industry, but it's only half the story.
It is. We're in the Northern Rivers region of New South Wales, and as that resource in native forestry becomes more and more difficult to access, there is a growing role to play for private forestry. In a dynasty spanning 3 generations, the Hurford family is specialised in turning the hardwoods of northern New South Wales into high-value, solid timber products. From humble beginnings, the company now employs more than 110 people across 5 milling sites.
We've been in business since my granddad started as a carpenter in 1932. So this is our 80th year in business as a family. We've always been working with timber, but it wasn't until a bit later in his career when he actually became a builder, had shortages of timber, bought himself a small bush sawmill, started to produce timber for the houses he was building, and really it's grown from there, I guess.
And it was another timber supply shortage that led to the latest Hurford innovation, a large-scale hardwood plantation on the family's own grazing property.
A process called the RFA, which reduced the wood supply to sawmills on the north coast by about half, and we found that it was quite a shock to us, and we thought we've got to get a bit of control over our wood supply rather than being beholden to others, and so that was probably the thinking behind it.
Since 2005, the company's been planting and refining its techniques for growing high-quality hardwood. With weed control, pruning and thinning, it's a regime that requires some fairly intensive management, especially in the early years. Andrew, you are chopping down some of your beautiful plantation trees. What's the reason for that?
Yeah, well, Nick, when we first plant them, we plant more than we need so that we can select the best ones, and only the best ones will remain in the stand so that they can grow on. If we have too many trees, they'll become suppressed and they won't grow as well as they will if we reduce the number down.
So crowd it out so you space them out and the ones that are left go?
Yes, exactly.
You've got a few to get through.
Yeah.
Along with the physical management, the Hurford trees also benefit from good genes. Selective breeding is used to produce trees that grow straighter and faster.
What have you got, over 20 metres?
I'm about 23 metres for the clones here.
Yeah, 23 metres. So
we'll just do one here if you want.
7 years old, they're putting on more than 3 metres a year.
So this one's 64 degrees.
Yeah.
So 23 metres for the clones, that's a metre more than the rest of the plantings, which was about 22 metres.
Yeah, yeah.
If you give them the right conditions, it is amazing just how quickly they grow. These ones here only 12 months old and already straight up shooting for the sky.
They certainly are, and the lessons that are being learned here by the Hurfords in their plantation operation are being then taken out to other private landholders to help them diversify their income. All across northern New South Wales, the Hurford foresters work with landholders who more and more are recognising the value of having a timber management program.
This place has been in the O'Neill family for a long time. Dad's about 3rd generation, 4th generation for me. Always had back in the past cattle, but more recently timber, because timber's become worth a fair bit of late.
So back when this country was originally settled, all the trees, Andrew, basically were cleared.
Yes, they were.
And that was in order to grow as much pasture as you could, and that was in order to feed as many of them as you could.
They're cows, Nick. Back then, trees were of no value, so you might as well just knock them over, get a heap of cows in. But now, the trees are of very high value, and the cows and the trees can live together.
You can have your cow and tree too.
Doesn't make sense.
Have a look at this bloke. This is the sort of tree that we're really chasing for our markets.
Richmond range spotted gum.
Richmond range spotted gum. We'll just do a diameter of him and just see how big he is. Yeah, Raymond, he has a diameter DBO of 95 centimetres.
Good tree.
So that's a pretty good tree. I think you'd be pretty happy with what you get out of that in some royalty.
Typically, a private forest stand will produce a harvest every 5 years or so. The pasture stops erosion and the cattle keep the weeds under control. It's a balance that seems to work for everyone.
It's always my relief valve to come out here through this country and drive through my country and see the trees and the cattle and everything, and the animals and the wild animals too. We've got quite a diversity of animals and birds here, and everything is going fine. Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Hurfords Hardwood has been an icon of the northern New South Wales bush since 1932. The company began planting its own high-quality hardwood forests back in 2005 and is using that expertise to help other landowners diversify their income stream. About 50% of the Hurford Hardwood wood supply is sourced from private forest. To find out more, why not have a look at www.hardwood.com.au. After the break, it's not just fine furniture and floorboards, the flow-on benefits of the timber community in Victoria.